Welcome to the reintroduction of the eligible monster top 10. I feel like we've gone over other people's top 10s more than enough that it's time for us to start doing our own weekly top 10 right here at Eligible Monster again. And I wanted to kick this off by going over a game that I've been playing for quite a while now, but recently got really headstrong into again. And so did most of our Discord community. One of the members of our community sat down and we discussed what we would put on this list. And this list is the top 10 sexiest Warframes. Now, I'm not looking for sexy Warframes in terms of appearance or the way they act. I'm looking for sexy Warframes in terms of destruction. Sheer, powerful destruction. If you're looking for sheer destruction, sheer Grenier destroying power, these are the top 10 ones that we personally enjoy. Now, this is a opinion-based list and not with the highest DPS ones, but trust me, you pick anybody on this list, you're going to be super effective at your endgame team. Now, kicking off our list is going to be the one that I personally main all the time for the most part, only swapping out for Avara myself. But anyway, it's Mesa. And that's due to her Peacemaker. The gunslinger Mesa wields both style and power to overcome her foes in a rapid shower of ballistic ordnance. That's what Warframe says about her. But Peacemaker is easily one of the most enjoyable abilities within the game, because when activated, Mesa enters into a firing stance. She then shoots down her foes in a display of gunfire that reminds me of the movie Equilibrium. That's why I love it so much. Mesa can shed through endgame mobs with style and bullets. More often than not, I find myself in a defense mission just basically staying in my force stance, shooting everything before it even gets near me. Trust me, one of our friends is a melee player, and he hates it, because I never let the monster get near us. Next up, we have Saren, due to her spore and her miasma. Unleashing an endless epidemic of contagious spores, Saren rapidly decomposes her foes with a horrifying potency. Erupt caustic pustules to spread her disease, shed deceptive husks to draw enemy fire, inject lethal venom, or exhale deadly viruses to cleanse the system with her toxic touch, as stated by Warframe again. Saren's toxic abilities are designed to work off of each other to spread and destroy. Spore embodies the idea of an infection. Once a foe is affected, they'll be covered by corrosive pustules that will slowly kill them, and once they're dead, the spore will then spread to the next target within range, and continue until everything around you is dead, or you shoot the pustules on the target and speed up that infection. The longer the ability is active, the more damage that it can produce. Miasma, on the other hand, is a much quicker killer that coats the area with a viral mist, killing most and melting away the others. Targets who are afflicted by Spore are even more susceptible to that mist, so you just combine everything and you make your own zombie plague. But it doesn't affect you or your friends. Number 3, we have Ashe, due to the Shuriken, Blade Storm, and Teleport. Ashe is a fast and maneuverable Warframe that possesses a high degree of survivability in the field. Fleet movement complements deadly tools of assassination, making Ashe a perfect balance between killing potency and stealth. Ashe's abilities are designed to kill and distract from smoke screens to his bleeding passive. Shuriken is a powerful single-cast ability that launches a throwing star of death at a target, applying bleed and impaling others to the walls. Teleport is very simple. Once you choose your next victim to cast it on, Ashe will teleport behind the target and open them up to a finisher, killing most things in one hit. Blade Storm is his deadliest ability, allowing Ashe to clear a room within the blink of an eye by marking his targets and projecting shadow clones of himself to each marked target, killing them quickly. Titania. Due to her razor wing, the diminutive temptress Titania and her entourage of bladed butterflies scatter their dust to disorient, enchant, and beckon foes to their doom. Titania has a very unique set of skills, ranging from ripping the souls out of her foes to turning them into floating lanterns of death. But one that really stands out is Razor Wing. Once cast, Titania shrinks down and enters into a type of arc wing mode, and then summons razor-winged butterflies that fly around attacking her foes. She also has 2 signature weapons. Just for this form, she has Dex, Pixia, and Dawada, a set of dual rapid-firing pistols, and a flesh-cleaving blade, and due to her smaller size, she becomes harder to hit. Titania is one of those ones that is just fun to play overall. You get to fly around and no one's expecting you. You're zipping in and out, just clearing out whole hallways, flying at top speed. Octavia, due to her mallet and amp. Rhythmic and imaginative, Octavia conducts her myriad of siren songs and ambient anthems through the mystical Manda chord. Entice enemies with musical instruments that inflict melodic melodies, as the Tenno chorus synchronize the rhythm to the sound of the drums of war. Mallet draws in your foe's damage inflicted on it, increasing its own damage output, but her real damage dealer is amp, which grows in strength the higher the decibel levels in the area. Amplify a damage buff for her and nearby allies. Plus, when have you ever not seen someone play Octavia? Once again, like Titania, Octavia is just fun to play. Mixing and matching your songs, looking online for like your favorite song done up in Warframe, she's just a fun frame to play around with. Chroma, due to his Vex armor, the bestial avatar of the primal forces of nature, Chroma confounds his foes and strengthens his allies with Elemental Capris. Chroma is a very good example of tank and spank. Vex armor allows him to change the damage taken into buffs like armor for shields and weapon damage with health, which can then be scaled for a very large damage boost. Plus, some of the extra skins that they've given Chroma 100% scream to me Monster Hunter. So if you've got Monster Hunter and you're loving that game and you want to get your Monster Hunter fix within Warframe, Chroma! Start looking like you kill Rathalos. Nova. Antimatter drop Molecular Prime. Nova is an antimatter-themed Warframe who is somewhat fragile with low shield capacity, fair health, and lacks a defensive ability. In return, she features extremely powerful offensive abilities capable of demolishing entire waves of enemies. Antimatter drop is an orb of antimatter that Nova launches at her foes that detonates on contact. The damage can also be increased when firing upon it with a weapon. Molecular Prime, on the other hand, blankets the area with energy, priming her foes with volatile antimatter, making them more susceptible to damage and causing them to explode, which can easily clear an entire full room. Just being Nova, you just feel powerful. Whenever you're overwhelmed, if I don't have somebody on Mesa, or I don't have somebody on anything that can room clear, Nova just drops her Molecular Prime and boom, the entire area is cleared out. She's definitely a lot of fun to play and sexy in terms of destruction. Number 8, we have Nidus. Virulence and Ravenous. Epitome of the endless evolving infestation, Nidus bends the vile corruption to his will, mutating his genetic potency to adapt and assimilate his victims with an insatiable parasitic hunger. Virulence, and I'm probably misspelling that, ruptures the ground with a spike-like fungal growth, stealing the energy from each target. For every 5 enemies hit, Nidus gains a mutation stack, which in turn increases the damage of his infested abilities. Ravenous spawns a grass-like fungal patch that heals Nidus and his allies when standing in it, but it also spawns maggots that swarm nearby enemies, eating them alive! And when consumed, Nidus gains mutation stacks, increasing the infestation. How does that not sound fun? Plus, you gross everyone out whenever you're on Nidus. Number 9 is Equinox. Main, a duality of contrasting forces in a single entity. Equinox unleashes wrath like the onset of Datbreak, or draws life to a close with its dusk's approach. Shifting between 2 forms allows her to bolster Tenno's strength in light, or provide recuperative respite in darkness. Maim is an area of effect ability that summons forth an aura of slashing force, bleeding enemies dry, and then weakening them for the final blow. For each enemy killed, while Maim is active, Equinox stores up the damage, releasing it into a massive slash wave, killing all within range. And lastly, number 10, we have my other character that I love to play when I'm not playing Mesa, Avara. Artemis Bow, equipped with a diverse selection of arrows, deft hands, shroud of stealth, and an exalted bow. The crafted Avara infiltrates hostile territory with deception and diversion, and then eliminates threats with a shot for beyond. The Artemis Bow is the first exalted weapon that doesn't drain your energy just by walking around with it. You can pull it out, and then the bow fires a spread of arrows fanning in a vertical and horizontal orientation. Think of it as a bow shotgun. Each arrow inflicts damage, meaning the more arrows that hit the target, the more damage that is inflicted, making this a powerful weapon for the prowling huntress. Plus, if you do your build correctly, then you can go in pretty much perma-stealth and shoot everyone around you. If you ever want to do a solo mission, how about making it so you can never be seen and walk past security cameras? That is the most amazing feeling ever, and then you just pick everyone off with amazing headshots. Anyway, guys, those are the 10 sexiest Warframes, in my opinion, in terms of destruction. You may be wondering why we titled it 10 sexy Warframes, because don't you find sheer destruction sexy? Plus, 10 sexiest Warframes is a much better title than things that blow up and go boom number 10. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this, and let us know what other topics you may want us to cover or other games you may want us to come up with the top 10 for. If you've been around at the channel for a while, then you know that we have had top 10 lists that we've created here at Eligible Monster in the past, and it's time to bring those back. It's time for things to go back to the way they were. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Eligible Monster, and if you like me, you can follow me over at Comic Story, and I'll see you next week right here at the next Eligible Monster list.